This is the Blackout Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast presented by 902 Elite Clothing, and where I get to talk to amazing people that do amazing things. And today I have Lara Lewis.
Hey.
I don't know, so are we going to say you're from Fringe or Glitter Bit or just as a
You can say that I'm from Fringe. I feel like I'm mainly from Fringe today.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in on the Blackout Podcast.
No problem. I love podcasts.
I remember the very first time I met and you said, the message said something like, I'll be the tall lady waiting in the coffee shop.
Yeah, I looked back at our text today, and I think it was, you'll recognize me because I'm the impossibly tall woman.
Impossibly tall, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, man, you can't
And
miss
it worked.
that.
You recognized me.
Right away. Thanks for meeting me and answering all my millions of questions, because I remember saying, I want to do Fringe this year, and you're like, I'll answer all your questions. I'm like, I work more in person when you talk to the person, because email, sometimes there's a miscommunication there. And then you answered all my questions, but let's rewind back to how did you even get start working with Fringe?
So Leanne Poole, the executive director of Fringe, worked in the same office that I was being a student rep for 2B Theater in, and she left that office. She was working for Live Art Dance at the time, and I ran into her, and I was like, hey, I should work for you. And she was like, okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I got like a summer contract, and that was great. And then I came back for the next summer, and then we applied to get a grant for me to do professional development with Leanne. So then I was there over the winter. And then this past November, Leanne was like, hey, do you want to just work with us year round? And I was like, yeah, I would like that.
Wow. What was your professional development about?
It was like arts administration through Arts Nova Scotia.
Oh, yeah. Man, shoot, I had admin. How do you handle all the admin you have to do? Pretty much day to day.
Oh, geez. Wait, what?
The admin.
Oh, I check my email like religiously, like every hour I refresh my inbox.
Yeah.
It's like everything that I have in my power not to be answering emails at all hours of the day. So yeah, I just check my email a lot.
And especially now with all the submissions for Fringe and all the back and forth, there's like tons of emails coming in.
Yeah, I feel like everybody must hate me a little because I'm sending them like 4 emails a week, and I'm like, you need to respond within 24 hours or I swear to God I'll cut your head off. I haven't had to do that yet, but...
Okay, that's great. but the good thing is, at least, when someone writes an email, you pretty much reply right away. So that's always good.
Thank you.
But now I need to know, there's so much organizing going into setting up Fringe, at least for this year. How does it start, and what are things you've done so far?
A lot of it is grants, begging the city for money, begging the province for money, begging the federal government for money. So that's like a lot of the base of it, and that determines like really what we can do. So yeah, I guess we started the year, I think we started out with a Valentine's Day fundraiser. So that's what like a lot of January was about. So we had that, and that was really great. And then we launched our applications. And that's like a really exciting time because it's before any of the lotteries happen. So it's just like all of this like potential, like all of these things could happen. So that's like an incredibly exciting time. What else? Yeah.
The lottery, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we select our shows. We're part of the Canadian Association of Fringe Festivals, and that means that we have to return 100% of ticket sales to an artist. We need to strive for diversity and inclusivity, and we can't have any of our programming be juried or like selected or curated in any way. So previous years, we've just done first come, first serve, like you get an application in, then you're in. But this year we're doing, we did a lottery. So we set up a lottery for each of our 5 venues, and selected, I think, like 12 people for each venue. And that was really exciting.
Wow, I kind of so how many shows do we have for Fringe this year?
I think the last time I checked, I think we had about 65, which is amazing because usually, like last year, I think it was like 55.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great year.
It's gonna be a crazy 10 days?
11.
11.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. What will you be doing during the festival itself?
I'll be trying really hard not to have a panic attack. I'll be running the BYOV show that I'm producing, and I'm also running a workshop, so that'll be fun. I'm doing a workshop on figure modeling, if you've ever wanted to be a figure model.
What is that?
Like for life drawing.
Oh, you sit down and draw you. Okay.
So that's going to be really fun. And Leanne always tells me that a producer's job is to do everything that nobody else will do, to make sure that things get done. So like basically for all of Fringe, I'm kind of just like on standby to put out fires and like do things that people need. Yeah.
And what venues are we using this year?
This year we've partnered with Neptune Theatre, which is amazing. So we're using 3 of their theaters, the Scotiabank Studio Theatre.
That's like the super big one.
Yeah, it's not their main stage, but it's like the smaller one.
Okay.
It's like 180 seats. It's the biggest theater we've had in a really long time.
Yeah.
Like we used that theater, I think 5 years ago, but then not since then, and not since I've been working there.
Oh, okay.
And we're also using 2 of their rehearsal spaces as like a smaller 30-seat theater. So the Neptune Imperial Studio and the Neptune Windsor Studio. And then we're also using the Bus Stop Theater, which is amazing and wonderful. I'm the vice president of the board. They're my favorite place in the world.
Nice.
And we're also using the building that the company house used to be in.
Oh, yeah. Talking about the Bus Stop Theater, the other day, like the district's equity thing.
Yeah, we won everybody won. It's like, so there's like, District 8 has this like,
District 8,
budget thing.
Yeah.
And every year not-for-profits submit like, we want to do this and get money for this. And then everybody in District 8, like children, adults, everyone, comes out and votes for their favorite things. And last year, not enough people submitted. So there wasn't even a vote, and they were kind of just like, okay, everybody take the money because there's no point in actually having a vote. But then this year there were enough people, so it was very exciting.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So we like had a vote, but then after the vote, everybody got their money anyway. Like there were like I think 8 groups, and everybody got full funding, and then CFAC got like partial funding, and it's like cool, everybody won.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I wanted to go for that, but then I found out you really can't vote unless you're from the district, right?
Yeah. Do you live in the district?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm far.
Yeah,
right?
I just moved, and I had to I was like looking it up like on my way there.
Yeah,
and I was
you
like,
can.
yes, still in.
So you're still in the district?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you voted for Bus Stop, I'm guessing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you act too, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your art background. How did that start? Why did you decide to get into acting?
Yeah. I think the first time I acted, I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
It was in a school play. And then, I don't know, I did like high school drama and stuff. And then I went to Dalhousie, and I auditioned for the acting program, and they turned me down, and I was kind of devastated, and I was like, what is my identity if I can't act? I can't act unless these people say that I can act.
Gotcha.
So I was like, fuck theater, I'm going to do political science. And then political science was like a terrible a hellscape.
What about it was terrible?
It's just like so much dense reading, and I don't
Yeah.
read quickly.
Okay.
So then I ended up going back into the theater program and did their theater studies program. So that was really great. And then I graduated, and somebody offered me my first like professional gig, and that was really cool. It was called Princess Rules. Heisted it. It was really fun.
Nice.
And then I've just been doing like a couple contracts a year since then.
And then, so acting is one thing, but then you also write and produce your own shows.
Oh, I don't write.
Oh, you don't
No.
write? So you'll just produce shows.
Yeah. So my friend Mark, we're like an artistic duo.
Oh,
he does all the writing and I do all the
gotcha.
directing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
We did when I was working at 2B Theater, where I met Leanne. Me and the other student reps produced a series of workshops, and one of them was a playwriting workshop. And he brought a play that he was working on, and we read an excerpt, and I was like, hey, I like the cut of your jib, kid. So then he was like, yeah, do you want to produce it at Fringe? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then we've just been like hanging out since then.
Oh, like how many of these plays have you produced now?
Murdertown, Harbortown.
Okay. You need more fingers.
Six
Wow.
or seven
Wow.
in like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a
Wow.
lot.
How many of them have been Fringe shows?
3 going on 4.
The new one coming.
Mike Malloy, Kid Detective, and the Mystery of the Missing Milk.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Mystery of the Missing Milk.
It's about a 4th grader who thinks that he's a hard-boiled detective.
So what is it, like drama, comedy, or?
It's like definitely a comedy. It's gonna like, I don't know, we always do like these like very heavy, like philosophically dense shows, and now this time we're just doing something like light and short and just like really fun.
Oh, okay.
It's like much more energizing.
Why did you decide to go that way this year?
I've been taking on more responsibility at Fringe, and I was really concerned about like just my ability to have the time to produce a show. So he was like, well, like originally I was like, no, I don't want to do a show this year. And he was like, well, what if we do just a little show? And I was like, twist my rubber arm, why don't you?
And how long is that show gonna be?
We have it down as 25 minutes, but we'll see. It's the great thing about BYOVs. If you go overtime, it's fine.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah.
Where's the venue gonna be? In
Glitterbean Cafe.
Oh, that is so. Then the other thing you do is like, you run this cafe. Do you want to tell me the story about?
Yeah. So me and some other folks were working at Just Us on Spring Garden in Carlton, and that got bought by Smiling Goat. And that was a horrible, awful experience where he stole our money and didn't pay us, and it was just like the worst.
Wow.
Yeah, I get really bitter because he owes me like $300, but then my old roommate, he owes like $3,000, so I really shouldn't complain that much.
No, but I mean, sure, there's like your roommate's 10 times more than yours, but still, it's money,
I
right?
can still complain.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was awful, and he didn't pay us, and then he didn't pay the like landlord or his suppliers or like anybody. So he was like up to his neck in debt, and Just Us still had the lease to the building. And they were like, hey, it turns out that it's really bad publicity for us to have sold you to this guy. So we're going to change the locks and kick him out.
Wow.
And we were like, oh, cool. So that shut down. And then we were like, hey, we want to start a cafe. And we were unionized. So the union was like, yeah, start your own cafe. Communism, yeah. So they helped us out financially, and like Just Us helped us out financially. And now we just celebrated our first birthday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw the thing on Instagram. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how's the year been so far?
It's been pretty good. I am I'm a part-timer, so I'm not there as often as I'd like to be. But yeah, it's been really magical. I really look forward to go. Like, it's my side gig, but I still really look forward to going into work.
How do you balance all these things you do?
I don't. I don't have friends. I don't go on dates. I don't sleep well. And I leave everything until the last minute and then do it all in like an anxious fury.
Oh, well, on the good, I guess on the good parts of it, you answer emails really, really well. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I'm afraid I'm being short with people, and that really affirms me. Thank you.
No, honestly, personally, I guess I can't speak for everyone you reply to, but I prefer emails where, like, you know, I ask A and you answer it and then that's it. You know, I don't like all those emails where we go through pleasantries.
Oh my God, it's so annoying. Like, I'm sure we're both doing fine. Yeah.
You get to the point, this is what we want to talk about is, yeah. So that works for me because, I mean, it's not like I'm in a rush or anything, but you sent me the email to deliver a message and let's just get to the fucking message already, you know?
Absolutely. Oh my God, it can be exhausting.
So when you want to produce a play, I mean, apart from that you have a writing partner or someone you work with, what do you look for?
What do I look for? I like plays about the end of the world.
Why?
I find it really cathartic.
Oh
no! It's like, great, everything is burning up around me. This is wonderful.
There is a photo, like a meme of this like little yellow dog in a burning house and it's like everything is fine.
That's like basically what the theater I make is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, so what about it is it gives you catharsis? What about like the end of the world makes you feel relaxed?
I find that like imagining the worst possible outcomes of things can like kind of like brace you for if they actually happen.
And most of the times it don't happen, right? So
most of the time they don't happen.
Yeah, because if you think of the worst possible thing, even if it gets bad, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, it's true. Everything, even if it's the end of the world for you, the things still keep on ticking for everybody else. Usually.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, right? Mortality, fuck.
I don't like thinking about that part because, you know, it's true. Like, everyone that has passed on, like, everybody that didn't die is still there, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's this show called The Leftovers. I don't know if you've seen it.
What is The Leftovers? Tell me.
It's an amazing TV show that I don't know why they stopped it, but anyway, the premise is that you wake up and like I think 20% or whatever, like a huge number of the population just disappear. People don't know where they went to, so the people that are left over are the leftovers.
Did they get raptured?
So there's a section of people that are talking about the rapture, and then there's a guy that if he hugs you, all your pains go away, and then there's a guy that keeps dying and come back. Like, it's just a crazy show. I think you would like it.
Out.
Yeah, it's really really good. I like the theme song is called Let the Mystery Be. It's a beautiful song and you don't expect it to go. I like when songs and like the film, they don't go but somehow they work. It's a really really good show and the actor was like really really good and it just, you know, when things like that happen, the true nature of people come out.
Yes. Yeah, like disaster and catastrophe, like whether it's like on a micro scale or a macro scale, like really show us who we are like deep down, you know?
Yeah. And then you realize that, you know, people just really care about family or what they call family. Anyways, it's just, I'm just reminiscing, like, it's just a great show. And there's a guy, there was this commune where, you know, people like felt, they call it miracle because literally everybody in this town didn't disappear. Everybody miracle never got like go to wherever this thing happened. So people believe that the people in this town are special, and everyone tried coming to this town, and then they had to keep people from coming to the town, and it's just crazy. But there was a guy that he suffers for this town. He just stays up on a post, and then people just throw stuff at him. Like, he sleeps there, eats there, lives there. Anyway, you should check it out.
Okay.
It's a great show, because especially if you love the End of the World, it's like the best End of the World show.
I love the End of the world.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep morbidity to the side. Okay. What's next for Fringe? Like, what's left to do before the shows come on?
Well, this past week was like one of the most stressful times.
Why?
Because we're trying to like get all of our schedules like down pat.
Yeah.
And we're like making a draft of the schedule and sending it out to people, and making a draft, sending it out. And the annoying thing is that if like one person has a conflict and we have to change around a showtime, then that changes all of the other showtimes for all of the other shows. So then we have to double check that with everybody, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. But on the good part, you sent an email about this new rehearsals and venue.
Yeah, Bell's View Studio.
Yeah.
I think it's called.
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's run by Elsa Galbraith and Sylvia Bell and Katie Dorian. It's like right between the bridge and Alderney Landing in Dartmouth. So it's like super accessible. Yeah, they're offering it for like $10 an hour for Fringe people. Yeah, I'm very excited about it, because like the city is so lacking in like theater spaces, and especially rehearsal spaces.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because the city cares more about condos than art. Or maybe not the city, but developers. Somebody cares more about condos than art.
But yeah, that's especially in the North End.
Yeah.
They keep going up pretty much all day.
Oh my God, I hate it. I went to the Forum Market one week, and somebody was there being like, these are all of the possible ways that we'll turn this block into condos. And I was like, I got in like an hour-long fight with this dude when all I wanted was to get some fucking asparagus.
Well, so on I think with the condos and all these buildings going up, on the one side, people are like, oh, that shows that Halifax is developing. We're getting more people in, or more people are staying rather than coming, staying for a few years and then moving to Toronto or wherever. But on the other hand, like culture is leaving, and like people are getting displaced and things like this. And when those condos go up, the people that live there can't afford to live there anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of like people staying here, coming here and then leaving, like I don't know if it's similar in film, because like your background's mostly in film, right? In theater, there's like a really strong pressure to be like, yeah, well, Halifax is like a great place to start out, but if you really want to do something with your life, kid, you've got to move to Toronto. And I'm just like super like over it.
Okay, yeah. Well, so yeah, it's the same in film, but
Okay.
Also here's the thing though. I mean, we filmed, there was the whole tax thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think I actually had this discussion with someone. I'm lazy.
Same.
So I'm not gonna go to a city where I kind of have to start from zero and then hustle and then try to make a name. But I want to be in my town, my city, and do the things I love and be good enough that this big city will be like, oh, you're really good at this thing. Come and do this thing. And I'll go there for work. And then I'll come back home. But like to go there and really start from zero is kind of... I mean, I respect them that they want to do that, but it's just not my nature.
No, that's exactly how I feel.
And plus, man, Halifax is so cool.
It's really nice.
Cool people like yourself doing
like
amazing
cold
things.
Sometimes, but otherwise I like it.
But the summer has been great, though. How are you
It's been a
spending
really
your
good
summer?
I'm working a lot. Summer is like the busiest time for Fringe.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like trying to go swimming as much as possible. I took like a little tiny vacation last month. That was great. I went to Montreal for a week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'd never been there before, and I was like, oh.
A lot of people seem to be going to Montreal. Why?
Yeah. I think it's because they have rent control. Honestly. Like, yeah.
So
Rent control and subways.
Okay. How was your trip?
It was really great. I went up a big hill and then down a big hill, then up a big hill, then down a big hill, then up a big hill again, and then down a big hill again.
For what?
Just for fun.
Oh, Jesus.
For the view. It's a real big hill.
Okay, so I mean, I'm enjoying this talk, and we talked a lot of things, but I guess coming back to Fringe, and it's my first year applying, and it's crazy getting people together, producing all these things. What advice would you? I'm gonna end our discussion with this question. What advice would you give someone that wants to apply or like get ready for a Fringe next year?
I would tell them to plan in advance. It's something that I'm very bad at doing. I would tell them that, especially if they're writing a show, to think of it in terms of how can I put this on? How can I create like what I want with the least amount of moving parts? Yeah.
Like, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Something that Mark and I have done is like make things that are like just way too grand for like the scope of Fringe. Like Fringe is a really wonderful place to experiment and try out new ideas. But like, yeah, it can be really hard to do like a full-fledged musical there. Not to say that people don't, but like, I don't want to say think small, but no, I don't want to say think small. Don't think small, think big.
Yeah.
But just be prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared to move. Be prepared to adapt. Be prepared to adapt, I think is what it really is. I
agree.
Yeah.
I agree, because what I've learned in the process of doing this is like I had to I went big. I had this elaborate thing. Then I realized, nope, it's not gonna work. So I it's all exactly. I think it's adapting. That is something I've learned doing Fringe this year. Wow. Okay, learn to adapt. I like that. Actually, I know it's not just for Fringe. I think it's for everything really in life. Yeah,
it's so true.
Thank you so much for coming today, Lara.
Thank you so much.
This is the Blackout Podcast. Thanks for listening.